We're joined now by Ambassador William Taylor, who served as the top American diplomat in Ukraine twice, first from 2006 to 2009 and again in 2019. So, Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be here, Kena.
And starting here, President Biden spoke today with Ukraine's President Zelensky. He also met with Norway's Prime Minister. What kind of tightrope is the president really walking here as he tries to keep the Ukrainians and allies like Germany all on the same page as they continue talks with Russia?
So, Kenya, President Biden is walking a tightrope. He does have a lot going on, but he has been very firm. And President Zelensky has been very firm. They have not been rattled by this big show of military force that the Russians are putting on on all three borders, on three of the four borders that Ukraine has, with Belarus to the north, Russia to the east, and then, of course, the occupied Crimea to the south. President Biden and President Zelensky talked today. We can only assume that they continue to reinforce the strategy of staring down Mr. Putin. They have not given in. They have not responded with attempts to appease or accommodate. So they have held firm, and that seems to be holding also with the allies.
Well, and as you know, there is this key pipeline that would carry natural gas from Russia to Germany, Nord Stream 2. So it's not yet operational, but would be a key source of energy for Western Europe. But the U.S. is now threatening sanctions to prevent it from opening at all. So do you think that could deter President Putin? How important does he view this pipeline?
I think President Putin cares a lot about this pipeline. He's put a lot of stock in it. They've looked forward to having it open for a long time. We've delayed it as much as we could. The United States has delayed it as much as we could. The Germans are taking a look at it right now to see if it meets the regulatory requirements, and it may not. And the Germans have indicated that if Mr. Putin sends those tanks or any kind of attack against Ukraine, across the border of Ukraine, then that pipeline is likely dead. So that's another incentive that President Putin has not to invade Ukraine.
Certainly a key point there. And you, of course, have spent a lot of time with Ukraine's leaders. You know them well. Why does it seem that they are painting what could be considered here a less urgent picture than the U.S. is? Can you explain their mindset to the viewers?
Kena, just like President Biden is walking a fine line, President Zelensky is walking a fine line.
Sure.
He has two things to worry about. Number one, he doesn't want to panic his people. He doesn't want to panic the citizens of Ukraine. He doesn't want to see shelves empty. He doesn't want to see investors leaving the country. So he needs to maintain calm, maintain determination, keep the confidence of the people. On the other hand, he needs to be sure that his military is preparing as much as they can. He needs to be sure that the international community is flowing those weapons into Ukraine to help him defend against that Russian attack, which may well come. He can hope, we can hope that it will be deterred.
Well, so on that, in your opinion, do you think that there is any realistic way to avoid conflict?
I absolutely do. I absolutely do. I don't think Mr. Putin has made up his mind yet. We haven't heard anything from him in a long time. We've heard from Minister Lavrov. We've heard from Putin's spokesperson, but we haven't heard from him. And there is some indication that they got this letter that basically said no, this letter from the United States and NATO that said no to the demands, the main demands, that is infringe, restrict Ukrainian sovereignty. We said no to that. And they've not really responded. Mr. Putin has not really responded. So my guess, and who knows what's in his mind? No one knows. But my guess is he's thinking hard about whether or not to send Russian troops into Ukraine, which he knows will kill hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian military and civilians, but also thousands of Russian soldiers will die. He's got to have this on his mind, maybe even on his conscience. He will not go down well, and history will not be kind to President Putin if he invades.
Well, Ambassador Taylor, your insight is incredibly important and helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kenya. Good to be here.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.